afternoon. Welcome to Sablab Makadure. Today I'm going to talk about also like a follow-up topic on first video I did on facts, myths, and manipulations of COVID-19. I kind of analyze the so-called grid index by CMA Australia. Now, based on that report, I emphasize that that organization is not a credible one to do such kind of ranking. They are not really a global organization, and the ranking itself has no merit because it has no transparency and account rigorousness because the methodology is not available publicly. Also, they have serious business interest in Sri Lanka and strong Sri Lankan presence of personalities in the organization. So therefore, that ranking is politically and commercially biased. And also, I mentioned about the the possible role of Malak Budeva as a active senior member of that particular organization, as well as main advisor to Sri Lankan president. So there's a potential political campaign to boost Gotabaya Rajapaksa's political profile in the coming election. So after that was published, my video was published on 18th. I did this on 16th of April, 2 days ago, and there was a good discussion on that, and also few activities happened after that. So I just wanted to today do a follow-up video based on some events happened after that main the post and the ranking. Now, let me share my screen with you. Now, okay, so this is the video I have done a few days ago, but I want to briefly show you. Yeah, this is basically the post I did on the follow-up, as a follow-up of the grid. What I did was actually I sent a few questions to the author of the grid index. I was able to connect him on LinkedIn, Dr. Chris Soisa, CFO and CEO of Team Australia, is the author of the grid, and he was very kind enough to reply and explain. Basically, I asked about the issues I had because I wanted to give him also kind of a opportunity to share his thoughts, particularly asked about the credibility of organization and experience in doing similar ranking before, and also I asked him, the methodologies followed along with the people involved in the report and the expertise they have, particularly about the report. And for example, they have referred to corruption perception index done by Transparency. I asked him with reference to that, what is the rigorousness of the rank they have done, the grid, and also methods, expert consultation, surveys, things like that. The third question was, the affiliation and business and person connection to Sri Lanka, and I asked also, I informed him about the current political discussion based on his reporting. Should know if he is following the media. And final question was about conceptual framework behind the rank, because I wanted to know how we link head of state to the response, COVID-19 response, and how he made the link, and how he kind of compare that with the global in a global level. What are the ranking methods used in a competitive way. So also now, since this is kind of very early in the pandemic, I also asked him whether this is like an report or whether he wants to do this in a regular manner. So he has answered in detail. You can of course go into detail. This is publicly shared in my post. I will inform him that I'm going to use his answers in the public discussion here. Now basically he has given like detailed answers and basically he has said this according to my own summary. Now he think CMA has kind of credibility to do such kind of ranking. However, he agrees that this is the first. Uh, he actually says this is sponsored by CMA and probably he has done it as a academic exercise. So we of course think that they can do it, but agrees that this is the first such kind of reports they have done. And he particularly used the term like first movers in the ranking of COVID-19. And also he agrees that methodology is not publicly available and he gives some justification to that, but he says it will be available in the future. So he personally thinks that he claims that he has no particular interest or affinity to Sri Lanka, but he also has shown some disappointment that this is this grid has been like highlighted or misused in Sri Lankan media mainly to boost political uh, you know, persons, and he said now he has not mentioned any person in Sri Lanka by name. Uh, Now my fourth question about the links between leadership and country's leadership and the COVID-19 response. He has not given direct answer, but he has clearly said that he has not mentioned Sri Lankan leader's name, and he actually used the credit mainly to the health care system in Sri Lanka as a strong one. That is why we have been able to in a better way. So of course, I have also some ideas and response plus questions, but he has clearly said that he is not, he is very busy, so he doesn't have time to kind of have a discussion with me on that. So I'm very happy to do so. So I wanted to share his answers first. So therefore, but I personally still think, his answers, I mean, very defensive answer, but that is fine. My question, my allegations, so my ideas are still observations are valid. That is, it's not credible. They don't have expertise to do that, and the methodology is not transparent. He agrees on that. He has not explained the leadership, current government leadership, and the connection between the COVID-19 management campaign. Now, I'm emphasizing on that because I kind of believe in theoretical level distributed leadership in managing this kind of grand scale epidemic. So, for example, now if you really want to detect or track leadership in who should be given the credit for managing leadership, it should be actually it's distributed. So from people, individual level to political level, there should be different leaders. But mainly we can easily track back people like Shavindra Srilla, Anil Jasinga, other medical doctors, even health minister of health, because they are the people who are running the show at least in the public eyes, and they do the operation. The president should have some kind of credit, but it's not really like he's the one who kind of uh, uh, who's driving it. So therefore, that link should be explained theoretically. Okay, so basically now that's one part of my kind of follow-up work, but also I want to talk to you about Nalaka Godehewa story, because based on my observation in the report and follow-up research, I have kind of with some kind of reasonable doubts, I have concluded that this Nalaka Godehewa is clearly a link between this ranking and Sri Lankan political leadership. So I have I have asked the question whether he's linked either in producing the report or is kind of making it popular in Sri Lanka. So he has done, someone you might have seen, he has done a video on that. Let me very quickly share that with you. Now, this video uh, was, yeah. So basically, what he's saying that you can watch the video; it's publicly available. It appeared on my Facebook as a sponsored ad. That I thought of responding to that. Now, basically, what he's saying is that ICMA is CMA Australia is a credible organization, global reputed one. He has no involvement in preparing or even distribution because he has rightly said he has not shared it. I also showed in my original video, and his involvement with CMA Australia is honorary one, and he doesn't involve in the preparation of reports. And yeah, so he has been given this honorary position based on his academic credentials and his qualification. Okay. So now, first of all, I want to also a condition here. Now, I don't know Nalak Kodheva in person. I have seen his public, appearance, media, and other involvement. But also, I think Nalak Kodheva is, a highly talented person with academic achievements. Now, as he himself mentioned, he's an engineer, he's a double accountant, he has a PhD from Australian University in marketing or economics. So I think it's my respect to him on that, and also I know by looking at his profile and public searches, he has done extremely well in the private sector as a private sector manager nationally and internationally. He has done very good jobs. So I am actually even proud of him because he's a fellow engineer, even though he doesn't know me, I don't know him personally, but we kind of follow similar academic path. So I think people like he should be in more active roles, public, even in politics. However, I don't really uh, I mean recognize him as a good public servant based on track record of during the last I don't know 10 years what he has done and how the cases uh, you know against him. So I don't want to talk about that. And also he kind of emphasized patriotism in this video. That is also, I mean, of course, I'm not going to share. I don't share his sentiments because he is a now he's a nominated candidate from Sri Lanka Pujan Perumna, and he's like official spokesperson and very close member of Gotabaya Rajapaksa core team. So I have my political preferences, but I'm not like a politician or I don't have plan to involve in politics. So I don't even support any political party unconditionally. So I don't want to contest or agree with everybody's patriotism, his political ideas, and I wish him all the best in his political career. But for example, my approach to this report is on academic basis. I'm trying to question whether this is a credible academic uh, report and whether these findings are true and objective. So I have to address talk to Nalak Gudeva and his involvement because of on that basis. So otherwise, I don't have any personal grudge or professional envy or something or basic. Again, I want to highlight, if I meet Nalak Gudeva some other time, I'm very happy to discuss in a personal manner, and I want to congratulate him for what he's doing nationally. But now in this video, he says something. Uh, Now maybe he should have this debate with his politically with like Ajit Perra is doing this, but I used his his video as a reply to my uh, original video and analysis on the grid index. Now, first of all, now I have kind of highlighted Nalan Kodeva's involvement in the video due to few factors. Now, based on my homework on ICMA website, I have found that he was an academic advisor to board, international board of CMA, ICMA or CMA Australia. He is also CMA council member. He's the global vice president for Sri Lanka, and he is the chairman of Minister of Finance, that is the Sri Lankan body of the CMA Australia. So now, when he says he's honorary, he's serving as honorary, I don't know what he meant. Maybe he meant he doesn't get any money or something like that. But he has played active role in Sri Lanka, but in promoting CMA Australia. So on my terminology, I won't call it honorary. It's active, like um, principal agent partnership. But if you go to, and I'll give you some examples, but if you go to CMA Council, interestingly, CMA Council now, his name is not there. Now today, as at today, from yesterday, after he released this video, his name is not there. In this council site, CMA Council, it's replaced with, his name is replaced Sri Lankan Global Vice President, Mr. Kapila Rodangada. So that is, I think, regional manager, another guy from Sri Lanka. All other names, I think, remain same. And the other one was is the council. And if you look at the education advisory board, now if you look at that one, you can see education advisory board, international members. Again, the Kapila Kudamkoda is representing Academy of Finance. This is as at today. But if you can remember my video, if you follow up my video, I can show you his name was there few days ago when I did the first video. Maybe I can show you if you go to 1330. So you can see here, Sri Lanka Global Vice President is Dr. Nalaka Gurheva. This is as at 16th of April. So they have definitely changed that. And also if you go to the 20th minute of my video, now now he was, this is 17 minutes. He was true. He has not shared it, that news on his Twitter. Now, my question is why he didn't share? Because if he's a country honorary guy, why he didn't share like his boss, that is Gotabaya Rajapaksa rank high, and he has not even shared. Why is that? And if you go to 20th, minute 20th, education, this education advisory board. So in this video, okay, you can see here the last name is Nalaka Godeheva. He is the international member representing Academy of Finance and Finance Sri Lanka. So this is Education Advisory Board of CMA. So this is again as on last Wednesday. Now his name was there in 2 places, actually in 3 places, and also as the chairman of Academy of Finance, Sri Lanka. Now all these names are like his name has been removed and replaced by this other person's name, other gentleman's name. So now I want to ask CMA Australia why you have removed it. But if you have any reshuffle or anything within last 2-3 days, so that also shows some kind of underground operations of now Nalaka Godeheva has distanced himself from the this organization, and immediately they have removed. And I have evidence, even I have screenshots of whether his name was there in multiple capacities. Okay, and then again he says, Nalaka Godeheva says he has been only serving in honorary capacity, and his position of honorary chairman was given to him based on his financial, his reputation. But I want to actually also contest that now. This is news from Daily News in 2006, even before Nalaka Godeheva got his PhD. This is news saying that CMA Australia to promote programs in Sri Lanka. Now here, Nalaka Godeheva is the course director of CMA Sri Lanka. Now you can see this, he is signing agreement with this Professor Janak, he's the main guy at CMA Australia. Now, if you look at this article, I can of course post this. He's clearly like the agent of Sri Lankan branch operation head who is actively promoting CMA Australia operation in Sri Lanka. Now this is in 2006. Maybe Nalaka Godeheva forgot to, now we can ask the news guy to remove this. But the point is, it's not true to say that it's honorary and he doesn't involve, but he has been like, active agent of CMA Australia in Sri Lankan operation. Now, if anybody want to look this into further, you can just type Nalaka Godeheva. I'm just showing this because it's very easy. If you are familiar with, familiar with searching, you can see what he has been doing. For example, now this is the news graduation ceremony of 2016. Nalaka Godeheva is the main participant there. You can see him back in the picture. This Janaka guy is there. So the Nalaka Godeheva is the chairman. He is honorary chairman. So maybe now he is correct to say honorary. But if you look at 2015, he is chairman. This is Academy of Finance, president of CMA, that is Sri Lankan branch, is not president. That time is president. Kapila guy was the Kapila Kodangora was the, I think, CEO. I don't know whose wife is this. Finance, maybe Nalaka Godeheva's wife. So this is another active involvement. 2018, he has been there. So he has a long association with this organization, at least from 2005-06. Now you can also see Australian High Commission Development Secretary, Sri Lankan President, Sri Lankan Branch Chairman, Nalaka Godeheva. So now, I don't know whether Branch Chairman is honorary just by having based on his credentials, so it's an active appointment where they promote the business. So it's up to you to decide, but I have a different opinion on that. I wanted to just show you that involvement, so you can easily search them and look into what is involvement, long-term involvement. Now again, particularly I think this is very important. This 2005, he has been, that time he not even joined the government sector, to the private sector side of this, and his main business has been his CMA promotions in Sri Lanka. Okay, this is published in 2006, June 24th. You can watch this before or view this before this is taken out if it is possible. Okay, right. So I have clearly explained to you why Nalaka Godewad, answer to probably to Ajit Karra, but also my findings that it's honorary and he can be distant. He may be, I will still accept his idea that he has not involved in the grid ranking. That I will not, he has explained about his credibility and international reputation of CMA, but I have already explained about those things. So now here the focus is Nalaka Gode has been an active promoter of CMA Australia for more than 15 years, and he has worked as a course director, then chairman, and chairman. Now it's not even in the the website. So why is that? Therefore, this development shows that CMA is not even reputed organization because they immediately act to based on the information. Now he has removed Nalaka Godewad name from here and also from education. ICMA International Council name, which was there. Sri Lankan was replaced by Kapila Kodangada. Why is that? I mean, if you are honest, open organization and organized professional, why do you don't hold into your two positions? So that is my question. I don't have any problem with Nalaka Godewad's politics. I am not trying politically to attack him, but now I have also a responsibility as a Sri Lankan national, Sri Lankan citizen, and also person who is involved in academic research to answer that. And I have already invited Nalaka Godewad in my video and talked to this Dr. Riza for explanation. Maybe they only talk to serious people. That is fair with me, and I want to people to know. Now my concern is when uneducated or conventional politicians try to cheat people, that we all know, we can deal with that. But Nalaka Godewad is a highly qualified, achieved, and he's I read his also for biography or something. He is a self-made man. He comes from a middle class, down to earth family, and he gains. The book explains his struggle, for the achievement. So I want people like Nalaka Godewad to do good to the people, not cheat them based on your qualification. Even in the video, he talks about his qualifications and how good he is compared to Ajit Karra or the politicians. But I want people like him to use these achievements for the betterment of people and stay humble and not to use them to discriminate people. I know he has a good following and people respect him, but that is why he should be careful on what he's saying, because you are not only talking to the politicians. We are also, as citizens, we also have our own looking at the truth. And now, and also in the post Google world, post Facebook world, information is only a click away. So my request to people, just look at what is available to you. Just look at and search. Don't trust people based on their qualification, their outward looks or their positions. Question everybody. Ask questions. Look for your own information. This is the basic idea of even Buddhism. So I'm just asking questions and I'm trying to get the truth, right? I'm not trying to attacking anybody or insulting or something. So I'm open again. If Nalaka Godewad want to answer, or if any of his colleagues, associates, and people from CMA, I'm very happy to answer and discuss. Again, I want to highlight my exercise is mainly objective is to look at the academic credentials of the the ranking of the research, not to involve into anybody's personal or private life, but when they are in the part of this process, I have to also question their credibility and the authenticity. So again, I want to request again from the audience and the viewers, please don't believe anything as this is in a paper, in a website, in a Australian or American or European site. Question yourself. Use your basic, common sense and question critical knowledge. And don't believe anybody whether he has a PhD, he has double degrees or anything. Just question anybody and ask them to explain to you. That's the responsibility or duty of any active citizen. So thank you very much for watching. I'm very happy to have a discussion on this. And ciao.